ugly people are some of the worst people you will ever meet. And you might think that I'm being nuanced here and I must say, oh, it's the ugly personality and end it like that and we're all happy, right? Oh yeah, everybody agrees. No. I'm talking about physically ugly. I'm really talking about them being physically ugly, not spiritually, not personality, just ugly. You should stay away from ugly people. Because ugly people are bad people. And, whoa, these are some tough statements. But I will try to prove to you in this video, and you can go ahead, hate me for it, whatever. If you're ugly, maybe you could hate me for it, whatever. But I will try to prove to you in this video why ugly people are fucking horrible. Fucking horrible. To understand why ugly people are horrible, we need to understand why some beautiful people are not actually horrible. Because when you're beautiful, right? There are two things that happen. You could go two different directions. Because you get the same input, but people go through two different directions. So some people will give you, everybody, or basically everybody, will give you, or let me rephrase this. If you're good looking, you will get, good looking guy, girl results, right? So people will give you compliments, whatever. And there are two ways you can go about this. You could be like, damn, yeah, I'm good looking. Damn, I feel good about myself. And I'm gonna reflect that onto the world. And I'm also gonna work on myself to look even better, to get even more, praise, or not even that. It's just, you look good, feel good. So you do that, right? And then there are the people that are like, become assholes, that are like, oh, these people praise me or whatever, so I'm gonna be, an asshole. And that means I'm the best, right? That means I'm, and nobody likes that person. But, so these are the two scenarios. Now what happens to an ugly person? The ugly person gets only ugly person input. What happens after that? Well, two things can happen after that. They either A, actually try to improve, not become ugly, because I do believe that for the majority of people, it's possible to not be ugly. You can at least be average, above average. I think most people can be above average. You have to have some serious deformities. And I'm not saying, I'm saying like, if someone is like deformed because of an accident or whatever, I'm saying. I'm not including them in the discussion of ugly people necessarily, right? So you could say now I'm going back on my word, but I think that's only fair. I'm saying, and I'm not gonna be, the guy that's like, oh no, that guy has the conditions, that's why he's fat. No, for the most part, I'm like, you can change that about yourself. I'm talking like, like I said, accidents or, real disease, not being fat, not being like, oh, but I have a slow metabolism. Yeah, you have a slow metabolism because you have bad habits. Okay, it's not you were not born that way, and even if you were, you can still, get lean with a slow metabolism, right? So those are the dumbass excuses. Oh, my parents fed me. You know what I mean. I'm not trying to get into the excuses, but there are a bunch of excuses that people make. But pretty much everybody can become a good-looking person. So we're going back to what happens when someone calls you ugly or whatever, or gives you ugly person things. You could either be like, oh yeah, I'm chopped, I gotta improve, I gotta maybe I gotta take a shower, maybe I gotta get a haircut, maybe I gotta lose some weight, maybe what I'm saying, maybe go to the gym, I don't know. And then there's the other person that's like, oh yeah, you're right, it's over for me. I guess I'm just gonna be chopped and hate the world because people are so superficial, we only care about looks, and you're gonna hate it even though you care about looks too. like like yeah, everybody cares about looks, deal with it, what I mean? It's but it's such a superficial word. Is it though? Is it? Because I do believe that for the most part looks are earned. Like I said, there are two types of people that get enforcement when they look good. You cannot be like, oh, this guy looks good. This guy looks good, man. He got it easy. And then you look, man, this guy wakes up to see the sun. He eats a good diet. He goes to the gym. He talks with girls. He walks around. He's social. He's whatever. He got a good style. But he got good genetics, bro. I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, things compound for the most part. Like, a good-looking guy is gonna be an even better looking guy over time or whatever, right? Because, like I said, so then comes the question: why do I say that ugly people, you shouldn't interact with ugly people? Because they are ugly, right? They are ugly because they didn't work on themselves. They are ugly. They have an ugly personality. They hate their life because people say that they are ugly, and they chose the pill of not doing anything about it. They chose resentment. They chose hating the world. And if you look in real life, how many ugly people do you know that have good personalities too? But we like to say, it's the personality that matters. I mean, I agree to a certain point, like, yeah, I could be friends with a fat guy, even though, he's fat or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But how many fat guys are there really that actually have a good personality, and we're not over here compensating for the fact that they're fat? Like, a lot of people, a lot of I used to have a lot of like classmates that kind of hated me because I was being a polaric guy and I also look good, so it's easy to hate on me. Meanwhile, the guy that's extremely ugly, has nothing going for himself, they praise that guy like, oh my god, but he has blue eyes, oh my god, he's from Poland, whoa. Like, they find the smallest thing to talk about, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, like, we need to actually look at the full picture and be like, is this guy an actual cool guy? Because if you really look in real life, most ugly people have ugly traits, have ugly personalities. Oh, but the halo effect. And, by the way, I'm saying most in the sense that I know there are like actors or whatever. Now, you could argue that's a bit different because technically they still worked for something. They're still someone, right? Like, even if an actor is fat, they still have generated a personality because, well, they still worked to become an actor, if that makes sense. But just your average fat guy, bro, I genuinely couldn't tell you, not even fat, just ugly guy. Because like I said, ugly is just you taking the pill of whatever, fuck you guys, looks don't even matter anyways. Or you're like, oh, looks do matter, but I guess I'm just chopped and I'm just gonna, remain like that for the rest of my life. And that will be my life. Fuck it, I'll just be an incel because I just think I can't, manage to look better, even though I won't even go to the gym. Like, and even if you go to the gym, I'm not just saying the gym. Like, there are so many things you can do, You could even, well, no, I wouldn't say. I'm gonna take it back. No, don't do surgery. Or if you do, you know what I'm saying, you should already have a base, you know what I'm saying? But, or maybe like surgeries in the sense of hair transplants or like eyebrow transplant, things like that, like double jaw rhinoplasty. I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Braces too, maybe expanders. I'm not too against expanders, to be honest, because they actually help your health too. Because you literally have a physical problem. You cannot, you don't have space for your teeth and your tongue and all that. But that's besides the point. Most guys can, manage to look better. They just take that pill of, because there are two types of people. It's either the people that used to be ugly that are now good looking and are getting good looking people praise or whatever, and there's the ugly guys that remain ugly. And also, of course, there are the beautiful guys that became, obviously more beautiful because they were already beautiful. And there are beautiful guys that became ugly. And I believe a lot of them are the ones that I talked about, previously, that are like the guys that are like, they take it for granted. They're like, hell yeah, I'm beautiful, so everybody should. Because, it's always a game of, like, if you look good, if you just have good looking genetics, unless you have like insanely top tier genetics, you're gonna lose them, by being ignorant and by, what I'm saying, like literally fat. Like, okay, some people don't get fat because they just don't eat enough and they don't get fat, but a lot of people do get fat and they used to look good, but then they get fat, and obviously basically impossible to look good if you're fat. But if you look at real life, how many people, ugly people, do you know that have a good ass personality? Most likely no. And you know why? Because they are being held back by the fact that they don't look good. I know there are some, bro, I talked to a lot of ugly people, and they hold back. They don't have, like, I don't know, like, if you make a gay joke with them or something, I'm not saying that they're funny or whatever, but those guys would be so like, hey yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're an NPC, bro. Like, comes back to my NPC video. If you're ugly, you're an NPC. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a harsh truth, but it is a truth. You can either listen to me or you don't. If you're ugly, I'm not saying it's just as easy as becoming handsome, but it's just that easy. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Because also change your mind. I know that's hard. And I couldn't really tell you because I've never really been ugly like that. I mean, well, you could argue I was kind of fat, but I kind of did it on purpose to bulk, which, by the way, is kind of stupid. Maybe do one bulk in your life, I'd say. Bulking too much is... and even then, like, if you're, like, older than, like, most, ugly people have ugly personalities because they kept getting fed the fact that they're ugly. And in the back of their mind, they're always that ugly person. And, like they go on the street, people like look at them weird. You get, of course, when you get a bunch of negative reactions, you're gonna think negatively, even if you think you don't. And then, it just spirals. Like, ugly people get uglier, beautiful people get more beautiful. That's just how it goes. And you need to break the cycle of blood. I'm not ugly. I'm not ugly. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna do the habits of beautiful people. If you are ugly and you do the habits of ugly people, of course you're gonna be ugly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some people don't have to work as hard, but that doesn't matter. Life is not fair. Some people are born rich, some people are born in debt. You know what I'm saying? What, we're just gonna quit? Like, what's the better option? Now, some people would say, I want to talk about the halo effect and then I'm gone. Because I think this video is already very long. But I want to talk about the halo effect as well. A lot of people might debate this topic and be like, no, ugly people don't have ugly personalities. It's just the halo effect and the reverse halo effect. Whenever you talk to an ugly person, you already assume bad traits. And when you talk to a good looking person, you already assume good traits. Let's debate this. Because I do believe the halo effect is real. For sure. I mean, I was looking to get some more piercings because I was like, it's probably gonna boost, my, what I'm saying? I already, wanted them for a while. I was like, I might get them. And I was thinking, this only really works, because I'm good looking. But an ugly guy, if they get piercings, they're gonna be even more ugly. Yes, the halo effect does exist. And it does exist for personality too. But you can see behind it. If you are ugly and have a good personality, it's impossible. You cannot be one without the other. You can't, because, well, to develop a good personality, you need to, be social, do this, do that, even go to the gym, even, you know what I'm saying? Some people would argue not, but you can't really have a good personality if you just sit inside all day, right? It's not really possible. I feel most people would agree with that. So when you develop your mind, you start reading, you start doing whatever. My bad, I just burped. Holy fuck, I do that in every video. But when you start reading, when you start, just developing yourself as a human, naturally, you want to develop other things in your life. And naturally, you will get to develop your looks too. You'll get to the diet, you know what I'm saying? Everything is interconnected. Oscar Patel was right, health is looks. And looks is personality. If you're unhealthy, come on, you're not gonna have a good personality. You're unhealthy because you have a bad personality. Because you're abusive with your body. Why are you abusive with your body? It's because you fall for bullshit, and you do bullshit because you can't control yourself. You know what I'm saying? Everything is interconnected. Man, this video I think is very long, and I had an anecdote too I wanted to share, because the reason I thought about this was something happened at the gym today. But think about it. People that come to the gym, noobs, are, or not, maybe noobs too. They are so most of them, or not even noobs, because I'm not talking about noobs. I'm talking about ugly people, fat people, skinny but ugly people. Bruh, when I'm telling you, these guys are the worst. Every time I see them occupy a piece of equipment, I'm like, here we go again. Because for the most part, it's gonna be a hard conversation with them because they don't want me to work in with them. And at the same time, you see a jacked guy, bro, it doesn't even matter what they're doing. You could want to bench press and they do squats in the squat rack, and you're still gonna find a way to work in with them, you know? Because they're just happier about life overall. When you're happier about life, things you just have happiness around you. How do you think your life is if you just consume black pill content, watch Rehab Room, you watch whatever, you see the stats of dating, you're scared, like, yo, relax, go outside, go in the sun, eat some natural, some good food, work out, work on yourself, work on your mindset, wake up early, see the sun, see the sunset. You know what I'm saying? Get a haircut. Get into fashion. You don't even have to get into fashion if you don't want to. You know? Like, me personally, I'm into fashion, but it's really not hard to look good. Like, literally just buy a plain black shirt, plain black jeans, and some plain black shoes. And that's, you look better than 99% of the guys. Right? Yeah, we can argue fit, whatever. Same thing. A layered, nice little haircut that just complements your face shape. Get lean. I guarantee you that by doing this, you're not going to be ugly anymore. And when you're ready to not be ugly anymore, you'll also develop a personality of a non-ugly person. So I don't have a script, so I think I probably forgot a couple of things. But let me know if you want to debate me on this. Let me know. I think it's a pretty cool topic. I think it's pretty cool, and I haven't really seen anybody talk about this. But I genuinely do believe that if you're ugly, it's because of you, for the most part. Again, not talking about accidents or whatever. Now, the more, hippie guys would be like, even accidents are attracted by you. I'm not going to get into that. And I don't really believe that, to be honest. But it's as simple as, if you're ugly, just stop. Oh, if you're homeless, just buy a house. To some extent, that's true too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be hard. But, you can climb up the ladder. No, I'm not going to talk about that. But, there are ways to make it, Bro, there are ways to make it out of anything, bro. Life is not that difficult, or life is not that... Bro, life is a blessing. Stop treating this stuff like it's some sort of prison, some sort of pain, Bro, life is beautiful. You can do whatever you want. Not whatever you want. Don't do whatever you want. That's bad advice coming from me. But come on. Life is beautiful, man. We all have the same sun. We all have the same food, more or less. And we can all just work to be better, work to be beautiful. And by being beautiful, you have a great personality. The confidence fuels you to be even better. And that fuels you to be even better. And it's a vicious cycle. You just have to not be in the vicious cycle of ugliness. The moment you feel ugly, say, what can I do to change this? And reverse that. To reverse the wheel and go back into being beautiful and having a beautiful personality. Yeah, I hope I did light up a fire, hopefully. I probably pissed everybody off, all the Karens, all the blue-haired I think that's not even an expression anymore. Blue-haired Twitter, that used to be more of a 2020 type of deal. Now it's it's all memes, But I don't keep up with the memes. I need to. No, I don't need to keep up with them. Actually, I don't care about. Memes peaked at big chungus. That's facts. But yeah, hopefully I helped you focus to get beautiful. And if you're already beautiful, hopefully I helped you to stop being around ugly people, because ugly people are contagious, because they are ugly, because they have ugly traits, and ugly traits are contagious. But the beautiful thing is, beautiful traits are contagious too. So, just be the food you eat. I don't know. I'm just throwing out random words. I'm over here playing like with a wooden worm toy kind of thing. I don't even. I've been playing with this for like the past minute. But yeah. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Ciao.